The woman who's going to be coming up on the stage is friends with me for a very, very long time. Not only do I love her, I'm probably the only one who doesn't want to sleep with her. She's one of my most talented, loyal friends. She did a show tonight so we could be on the stage together with her friends. She could have gone upstairs, got her money, said hello to the cousin and everybody else, and gone and made like it was Hanukkah and got to eat gifts and get the fuck out of here. She schlepped. Look it up, Google. Goya, we gotta enjoy. Right, Karen? She schlepped from California. That is a schlep and a half. And not only that, she still always looks good. She's funny. She's a doll. She's one of my favorite friends in the world. And she's here tonight. And she's responsible for this show. And she said, meow, Janice, what are we going to call this show? I don't know what I'm going to do. Misbehavin' Mondays. Ain't misbehavin'. This girl I love, she doesn't need an introduction, but I want you to give her a big hand, okay? Put both your hands together, even if you're retarded. Put both your hands together. Put your hands together. Everybody make some noise. I want her to hear it. I want them to hear it upstairs. I want them to hear it in Brooklyn. I want them to hear it in Queens. Long Island. Connecticut. My people, got a fame. Please welcome the very talented, my dear friend, Joanne Scorcia, everybody.
Wow, I feel tall with this mic. It must be my 6-inch heels. So I'm very happy to be back in New York, and wow, thank you, very good-looking crowd. Okay, I'm going to have a lot of options tonight. I'm going to have a sign-up list outside, so we can start whenever you're ready. Actually, one of my best friends in LA just got me on one of these dating sites, and I swore to God that I would never friggin' do this. Well, I did it. She signed me up for Christmas, and I started going out on these dates, and she said, no, you need to find a nice, rich guy. And my problem is I always went out with the poor, hot, broke guy, okay? And that got me basically nowhere. So I started going out with these guys, and, rich guy, and it's just very funny. I'm not picking on you because I think you're really darling. I don't know if you're with him. Hopefully you go both ways in this. But actually, my problem with somebody that looks like you, even though you're very good looking, great eyes, is that lumberjack look is sexy for a moment, but to me it speaks yeast infection. This I don't need. Please clean it up. I don't mind a little scrub. I think that's sexy, but I don't want that. It's just not, I'm waxing. I don't need more hair down there. No, girl. Give me a freaking break. Can we work it out? You're married anyway, right? Doesn't matter. He's with him. He wants me. Who the fuck cares? So I go out with this other guy, and he's bragging. He doesn't really show me many pictures, but my friend said I have to keep myself open, okay? Because I've always picked the wrong guy, and I actually have some friends in here who can vouch for that. So I'm going to follow her advice. So I'm not looking at photos. I'm looking at the photos of their cars. Right? That looks good. So he has a brand new white Maserati. And so I meet him, and because I didn't look at the photos, I didn't realize that he's missing teeth, and the teeth that he does have are friggin' yellow. And I'm like, how is this possible that you can afford this car, but you don't care about your teeth? But I guess he doesn't care. So he has this thick gold chain, and he wants to know how I am in bed. Do I have a lot of energy? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, I can keep you up all fucking night, but I'm not doing it. So, but I didn't say that to him. I actually thought about my friend, and I thought, maybe I should sleep with this guy. Maybe I should try something different, right? Get myself set up. And all I can think about is I want to fucking choke him with that gold chain. So he says to me, Joanne, would you like to have sex in my brand new white Maserati? And so I said, sure, can I borrow it? Meow! I love that, the continuation. The kittens are in the house, right? You people are really good looking. I mean, all of you, the men and the women, and even the lumberjack. So, yeah, I have a big problem with commitment. I think it's because everything is social media. I just can't make a decision. I just think, oh my God, he's cute, but he's cute, and even you're cute, sir. Anyway, do you would think somebody like me who loves to date and goes in and out of relationship like a serial dater, that I would actually love Valentine's Day? Okay, I hate Valentine's Day, okay? And I'm sure there's plenty of people in the house who can't stand buying Valentine's Day gifts because then they break up right after that, right? You want a refund on your fucking gifts. We should all collect. But actually, the reason why I hate Valentine's Day is that my parents actually divorced before Valentine's Day many years ago, and my mother remarried my stepfather-to-be on Valentine's Day, only to go back to sleeping with my father and happy fucking Valentine's Day. And we were all supposed to act in my family like this wasn't going on, that my mother wasn't sleeping with my father. But everybody would be in the same room, and we're all acting like this is not happening, right? So my family is actually so dysfunctional that we no longer acknowledge the dysfunction. We move right past that. We talk about other people's families. My father had the nerve to call me the other day to tell me about some guy that he's sure is cheating on his wife. He's like, that family is really fucked up, Joanne. I said, I'm glad we don't have those problems. He says it's grandfathered in because he was married to my mother. I'm sure there's some people who have exes who think you can just grandfather it in and fuck everybody, right? We all would like that. See, I have a clapper in the back. I actually myself have learned that trait. I recycle my exes just for a little something now and then. Some of them might even be in this room. Okay, we won't go there. Yeah, but actually, I should have known with my parents it wasn't going to work out the second time because there was so much drama going out the first time. Most people actually divorce because guess what? They have nothing in common. My parents actually had so much in common that they both wanted to be with men. And I was actually okay with this. You know why? Because Joanne always wanted a twin brother. And you have to watch what you wish for in life. Because my father found a guy who looked a lot like me, right? And which is more than I can say for Michael Jackson, who spent millions of dollars trying to look like me.
Oh my God.
I'm like a celebrity in my own mind. They think that guy's so rich trying to look like me. No, as he would say, it's all in love. It's all in love. Okay, we won't do that bit again. That was a Michael Jackson bit. I guess it's because he's rather than doing me, I shouldn't really do him. Although I would have slept with him. It might have been interesting, like sleeping with my twin. Right? So what's so dysfunctional about my family, I could just make a list, okay? So now if you're following this whole thing, my mother's remarried, my father's got a boyfriend, they're still sleeping together. And sometimes we would have family gatherings where they were all present. Right? And I have to act like this is not happening, even though I'm privy to this information, because I'm part of all the schemes. Like, don't tell your stepfather that I'm going out with your father. We're going to go to the wedding. Don't say anything. Okay, so now we're sitting at Thanksgiving dinner, and it's like this debate, like this tension of my stepfather talking about how he's intimate with my mother, and my father's talking about years ago, and who stuffed the turkey. And I'm like, do me a favor, just pass me the cranberry sauce. And this is why I'm a vegetarian. I don't want to talk about the turkey anymore. It's too sad. I'm glad I can laugh about it, and all you're laughing about it. So, so my family's an interesting group. But I actually have a lot of parents, so if anybody wants one, I'm more than happy to give you one or two or three, because I'm generous that way. I like to share. I was talking about my adopted parents, who I love dearly. They are my mom and dad, honestly, truly, karmically. I love them. I wish they were here. Well, maybe not. I'm sure they wouldn't be happy to hear after this stuff. But I'm I'm speaking the truth. But I actually am adopted, and I have my birth parents and my biological parents. Okay? So you might want to start writing this all down. There's a lot to cover. You know, I used to go to therapy. The therapists were so confused. They're like, wait a minute. So your father's with the guy, he's gay? I'm like, no, actually he's bisexual. Well, I thought men couldn't be bi. I'm like, yes, he is. And your stepfather's what? I'm like, listen, just deal with me. I'm paying. Fucking educating the therapist about sex? Jesus Christ. So I went and I looked for my birth mother. I thought this was a great idea, right? And then I realized when I found her that there is a reason why people give up children, right? They shouldn't have children. That's why they give them up. It's not about getting them back. Why am I looking for something that gave me away? It's like relationships. You got rid of me, I shouldn't be chasing, right? None of us should chase. So I call up, I get my mother on the phone, and I said, hi, I said, my name is Joanne. According to the records, you named me Annie. I have to say that's a genius name for an orphan. Thank you. They made a big play about that, in case you didn't catch it. And I said, according to the records, you're Italian-American. My dad was Italian-American, so I'm Italian-American. And she goes, oh, no. She said, when I was married to your father, I became Italian-American. And then I divorced him, and I married a Puerto Rican guy, so now I'm Puerto Rican. And I'm like, what do you possibly say to this, right? So I said, well, actually, I didn't know this. I thought you could only change religions. I didn't know you could change nationalities. And then I thought about it. I'm like, wow, this is genius. If I wanted to change nationality, all I had to do was sleep with a different guy. So if that's the case, I've been Polish, I've been Jewish, and one night in Vegas I slept with a black guy and I felt the Holy Spirit in me. So, and then I have my stepmother, and I'm sure we'll have one of these in our family. She's one of these fanatical religious types. Now listen, I do believe Jesus existed. I don't really care what your religion is. I've dated just about every religion there is, so I went everywhere. I said, but I don't want to hear about like a quote from the Bible every time I ask how the weather is, right? We know these people, right? We have people like this in our life. So she wants to get me to the church, and I'm over at her house, and she goes, Joanne, it's Sunday, and we're all going to church. Want to come with us? But I don't want to do the right thing, because these people make us want to rebel, right? You're like, fuck this. I don't want to hear this. So I said to her, I said, no, actually, I want to sit here and smoke some crack. And then maybe the FedEx guy will come on a Sunday, and I'm going to fuck him. Go, girl. Thank you. She didn't like that. She goes, you know, Joanne, Jesus is going to pray, and we're going to pray with him to soften your heart. And, we have to do this. And then the Bible quotes come. And so she goes, and you know, Joanne, Jesus walked on water. I said, no big deal. We've all done it. It's called a patch of ice. She didn't like that. And she said, you know, Joanne, the devil gets to people in many different ways. Some through drugs, some through alcohol. What's your way? And I'm like, it must be the 6'7" black guy that I sleep with. He brings out the freaky devil in me every time. I thought she was going to pass out at that point. And then I thought, you know what? I'll just go to church just to satisfy her. And I get there, and it's my luck that this church in Springfield, New Jersey, which, by the way, is the only church that's getting into heaven. No other church that you're with is getting, only her church. That's nothing to laugh about. So anyway, I get there, and this church is like almost like Anglo-Catholic / born-again Christian. And first of all, what I realized about born-again Christian, people that are born again, the reason why they're born again is because they're so busy rambling about Jesus that somebody knocks them the fuck out. And then they get up, and they're like, oh, wow, I must be alive again. Wow, Jesus saved me. But anyway, the other half of this church is Anglo-Catholic, right? And so the Anglo-Catholic, I didn't know this, Anglo-Catholic priests can marry again. And they can get married. So this priest, would be my luck, is hitting on me. Can you imagine? So I get there and he's like, you're actually very interesting. You know, this is like after the service. He's like, I've never met anybody like you. He's like, I think we could have a lot of fun together. And I'm like, what? He's like, I would like to take you out to dinner. And like, he's in his garb, and I'm like, this is weird. I'm going to date a man in a dress. I know priests have dated little boys, but I don't know. I'm not going to go there. But then I thought about it. I'm like, you know what, Joanne, you need to be closer to God. Who is closer in your life right now to Jesus? The priest. So I'll fuck the priest. I'll have sex, it'll keep my stepmother happy, and everybody's doing something good. So you can imagine my dating life has always been kind of screwed up with all these family members, right? And there was really no semblance of any kind of reality of normalcy, right? So my idea of moving on was breaking up with my boyfriend who had a heroin addiction. And then I started dating a girl who did coke. All I can say is the girl hopped the TV, and at least all the spoons still worked. So, yeah. But what I can say is that I actually think I should find a better religion, okay? Something that accepts everyone. I'm tired of this old separation. We're at war for this separation. Who cares who your God is? Let's all believe in one thing. Let's join the swingers. Yeah. Then we can all scream, oh God, every night with somebody here. So, yeah. So we all have these crazy relatives in our family, too, the ones that we actually really love. And one of my favorites is my Aunt Terry. God love her. She can drive me nuts in 5 seconds, right? You have somebody like that? Yes? Yes? She'll call me with the craziest things at the worst time. She called me not too long ago. I'm on my way to an audition. I picked up my cell phone. She goes, Joanne, it's Aunt Terry. I'm like, yes. She's like, I have a problem. I said, I can't talk about it now. She's like, no, but you don't understand. So-and-so died. I said, listen, I'm going on an audition. I have to remain positive. She goes, what are you auditioning for? She goes, Max Factor. She goes, oh, those son of a bitches. I hate their fucking guts. I said, I cannot have this negativity right now. She goes, all right, do me a favor. Actually, it was meant to be. I'm out of the Max Factor pan stick in the color of Suntone. I said, I'm going to an audition, not a store. She goes, but you can ask them. There's probably somebody there. So I said, okay, I'm hanging out. So I go to the audition, and at the audition, for those who are not actors, the lights on, and have to say your name, and I say, hi, I'm Joanne Scorcia, and then you have to do the copy that you are familiar with. So I said, hi, Joanne Scorcia. And they're like, Joanne? And I'm like, do you know about the Max Factor pan stick in the color of Suntone? My Aunt Terry's out of it. I'm not sure if it's shaped like a pan or a stick. I don't know what she wants to do with it, but she really needs it. And she called me, and they're like, okay, thank you very much. And they sent me out of the room. So I called my Aunt Terry, and I said, I blew the audition. She goes, what happened? I said, well, I just forgot my lines. I said, but guess what? I found out where you can get the Max Factor pan stick in a color of Suntone. She said, where? I said, on drugstore.com. She goes, oh, great. See, you're so negative. At least we got something out of it. She really can drive me nuts, and I love her. I don't know what I'd do without her. I'd probably be normal, right? So, yeah. So dating is definitely a theme in my life, and I plan on getting it right. But I don't know. Maybe it's something about the guys in LA versus the guys in New York. See, the guys in New York never let me pay. It's not even a possibility I can offer. They're like, don't be silly. I'm like, okay. We play this male-female game. Oh, so thank you. Like I've ever paid. But in LA, it's a whole different thing. I don't know what these guys are doing. I think, right? They're so busy looking at themselves in the mirror, they don't know what they're doing. Trying to grow their hair or whatever I don't know. Or maybe they don't even really want to date women. So I go on a date, but these guys somehow, they say we're going out to dinner, and I get there, and they've always come back with, oh, by the way, I just ate. I hope you don't mind if I'm not eating. One guy said that he just got off like a 10-day cleanse. So he wasn't eating, but he was drinking scotch after scotch. So he's like, well, you can order whatever you want. So I ordered a kale salad. I was like, fuck him. I'm not going to fucking drink. I'm like, now I'm not drinking. So now it's a standoff, yin-yang. You're drinking scotch, I'm having kale. Then I I made out with him, and then I'm like, oh wait, this is weird. I'm making out with him, I have tail in my teeth. I can't do this. So the waiter said, anything else? I said, sure, I'm going to take another order to go for tomorrow night since he's not eating. But it's like a running theme. I no sooner have that date, I'm on another date, and I get to the restaurant, and the guy's like, Joanne, sexy mama. Completely drunk, right? I hope you don't mind, but I was hungry before you got here, so I ate. I said, oh no, that's perfectly acceptable, because I was horny before I got here, so I had sex. So now I'm going to eat. So I don't want to leave. It's almost like I want to ride the pole up here. Should I ride the pole?
No, thank you. Joanne, that's extra.
That's extra. Okay, we're not riding the pole. I'll do it later. All right, you guys have been amazing. I hope to see you all again soon. Thank you so much for coming. Keep it going for Janice. I don't know what I'd do without you and all the other comics on the stage.